I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you.
No, you don't.
I
told you. He won't talk. You want to play knowledge.
Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why? The reason why. One second, brother.
And then he went, oh, I don't want to talk to you.
The reason I don't talk to people, knowing that these people that I'm talking to,
No, I don't care.
he's targeting. Excuse me, I'm just answering a question that this lady asked.
It really is a waste
No,
of time.
I'm answering a question this lady asked. Right. So be patient. Don't interrupt when I'm talking. Right. So the reason why I don't talk to this individual, because I know this individual doesn't even know the subject matter he wants to debate Muslims with. For example, he wants. No. I'm just telling you.
You don't even know Ibn Ishaq. You don't know Ibn Ishaq, and you don't know Ibn Kathir.
Why is he interrupting? So let me tell you exactly the reason why. So you can only have a meaningful discussion with someone when we know what we're talking about. If I want to talk to you about something and you didn't know anything about it, I can't be able to have a meaningful discussion with you.
But you were asking a question,
Likewise,
so she clearly isn't an expert in.
Why don't you ask someone?
I am not saying.
hypocrite.
I am not saying
intentionally ask
you need
people
to be.
who don't know answers
Excuse
to
me.
questions.
Listen.
Is she an expert?
Did you notice? As I'm trying to answer,
Absolute
he's
hypocrite.
interrupting. I am not saying I want you to be an expert to have a discussion. I want you. I want to speak to someone who has knowledge about the subject matter. So if I listen.
We have knowledge.
Listen.
Talk to us. We have knowledge.
I was talking to you.
Yeah, and you backed off.
Do you know why I backed off?
Because you have no idea what I was talking about.
At what point did you stop? Because you were crazy according to your own admission. So exactly. What does it mean? What does it mean?
I have no idea what I
You have
said.
no idea what it means. That's why I don't talk to you. So now, to complete my answer to you, without any interruption from crazy or non-crazy people, right. So once you know, do you see the problem? I'm trying to answer you, and you have people. Okay, so I'm going to ignore him. So, right. Sorry. I'm answering your question. So once you identify someone doesn't have any knowledge on the subject matter, and he wants to debate you. You know what a debate is? A debate is you want. A debate is that you want to. Do you want to come forward? Because you are not hearing the answer because of the interruption of your Christian friends. So the reason a debate is when you know the subject matter very well, sufficient to well enough to establish the truth of that matter. Not only. Listen, I wasn't debating you. I was having a discussion. Right. Look. He wants to debate. But look, he wants to debate. The reason why, when we debate, you have to know the subject matter. You have to know. Listen.
She's telling you.
You didn't hear what I said. Hang on. Did you hear what I said? Sorry. Did you hear what I said? What did I say? So how can you look? If you know someone doesn't have knowledge on the subject matter, do you think it's wise to debate with these people because they will be waffling? Do you think it's wise? Good question. But what if you know?
How do you know?
Because of all this discussion so far. Okay. Okay. Let's 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Good. Now let's talk about carbon dating.
Okay.
To carbon dating of manuscripts, right? I'm debating you. Okay.
Finally did it. And he was running away. Finally, he doesn't know.
Let's move a little bit. So now, we want to talk about carbon dating manuscripts, right? So now, I want to know whether you understand.
We're going to talk about Islamic manuscripts.
Wait. So what we are doing is, this debate is about establishing whether this individual, what's your name?
Manuscripts.
What's your name? Chris. Whether Chris is worth debating by anyone in the future from now on. Because wait. Let me finish. Let me finish.
That means he's afraid of you.
Hang on.
He's afraid of him talk. He's trying to
It's okay. Because now it's all right, people. It's okay.
Everyone,
Listen.
you guys Muslims, make sure you don't dare talk to this guy. Because if you talk to this guy, your Islamic nonsense will be exposed.
I know. This is why he attacks character. He doesn't attack argument.
Exactly.
This is ad hominem, the example of a weak argument.
Exactly.
This is your da'i, guys. Why do you not have better? Why do you not have people who are knowledgeable, who are not afraid?
Exactly.
This
Why
man has
don't
been
you
running
debate
from
Jay
me for
Smith,
months. Why would he debated J. Smith? He got destroyed.
Really?
Absolutely destroyed.
What did J. Smith? Look.
This man had to admit that there are
big
different
man.
Qurans.
Watch,
This man had to admit there's
watch,
different Qur'an.
watch the
And they have
debate
different
with J.
meanings.
Smith, and you will see.
Let's
Okay, now,
let's debate it. Let's debate it.
wait.
Let's debate the Qur'an.
Carbon dating of manuscripts.
Let's debate Qur'an.
I know for sure this individual called Chris doesn't know anything about the subject. Now, tell me the principles of carbon dating.
What is this in relation to? Make your argument.
Manuscripts of the
Make
text.
your argument.
Manuscripts of the Bible and the Quran. So, brother, you put it if you want to. So now, what are the principles for carbon dating?
Okay, so carbon dating is a method. It's when you analyze the carbon that is present in the material or in ink, and you see exactly how long it's been since those carbons, the carbon has gone from that particular object, right? So from the parchment or from the ink. So that's a process by which we can have a rough estimate as to when something is dated by. So for example, the Birmingham portfolio has been carbon dated between, say, around 570, and 645.
Is
That's
that
a
the
problem for
so,
Muslims.
wait,
That's a problem
wait.
for Muslims, because that means if you take...
Is anyone timing? Only 5 minutes he's got, right?
Common-
Stop timing.
Hey, listen.
Stop
Which is a
timing.
common
Stop timing.
practice
He only has 5 minutes.
Listen. Which is a common example, thing that you do in academia.
I have to leave, guys. So
See you later.
Just one thing.
You are living with your
No.
With your mouth, Jesus is Lord.
Then you go to hell. Then you go to hell. Yes, then you go to hell. Yeah.
Child.
Then you go to hell.
I thought you believed in Jesus.
Then you go to hell.
I thought you believed in
Right,
Jesus.
right. So now,
not as a God.
let me interrupt you for 1 second. I apologize. Why do we choose the BP from the 1950s when we talk about carbon manuscript? Why is the year 1950 chosen for BP? Do you know what BP is in relation to carbon dating?
I'm talking about the Islamic manuscripts. of the Birmingham
I am talking about the principles of carbon dating. So now, within these principles, we choose the year 1950 as a BP. Now, tell me what that means.
You haven't addressed what I've said.
Look, we are addressing
Can you
how
address
much
what I just
knowledge you have on the
I
subject
literally
matter.
just went on and
Wait.
about what the
Chris,
Birmingham
Chris,
portfolio is.
I am not
Birmingham
talking about
portfolio is
the
Surah
Italian
18,
manuscript.
Surah 19,
Hey,
Surah 20.
Chris,
yes?
Chris, listen.
No, I'm telling you about
No, listen, Toko.
I'm telling
Listen.
you about radiocarbon
Stop.
dating of
Stop.
the Birmingham portfolio.
Stop. We are talking about the principles of radiocarbon dating. So you need to know what the principles are. So let me ask you again. First question. Why did we choose the year 1950 when it comes to BP years?
What is the relevance of this?
Because that will demonstrate whether you know about carbon dating or
I
not.
literally just described what it is.
Okay,
I gave
tell
an
me.
example of
Okay,
it. I
so
told you the scholarly reference
if
of the
you
carbon
are-
dating of the Birmingham
listen,
portfolio. I told
Chris.
you Surah 18, 19, 20.
Chris.
I told you the medium reading range of that is 610. That's a scholarly average that you take. That would mean that Revelation was revealed around the same time.
Stop,
as the
stop,
Hera
stop,
came.
stop,
So that
stop,
would
stop.
contradict the Islamic
Stop,
narrative.
stop, Chris.
That would mean Islam is wrong.
Stop.
There. Do you know what? I just
Listen,
quoted
Chris.
scholarly material.
Listen,
and
Chris.
It's not enough.
Chris, and those of you listening,
This is
my
what you do when you
specific
attack character.
question to someone who thinks he knows about carbon dating, my question to you,
Just debate what I'm saying. I'm not here for a lecture. I'm not here for a lecture.
I'm going to ask him, look,
Hold an argument. Respond to my argument.
Chris,
Respond to my argument.
Chris, this debate, my sister in humanity, is to establish whether this gentleman called Chris knows about the subject
I
matter.
don't need to
Right.
go through
So,
your
my question number one, I repeat again. Why did we choose 1950 as a year, and what does BP mean?
Why is the dating of the Birmingham portfolio averaged to around 610? Why?
Okay, so he doesn't know the answer.
That's the
Right.
actual
So now, if anyone knew anything about carbon dating, they would know what BP means. Do you know what BP means?
Bro,
Do you
I'm
know?
not here for your lecture.
Do you know what BP means? Does he know what BP means?
This is an attack on character.
Oh,
I have
and I don't want to do.
Look,
Look,
my character.
he's googling.
He does
Look,
not know.
he's googling to tell him. Okay,
Answer
don't
my
Google
question.
it.
Answer
Right,
my question.
right,
I told you.
right.
And I
Okay.
spoke for a few minutes about the Birmingham
My
portfolio
next question,
to address my argument.
to know whether
So
this
that's
gentleman,
interesting.
okay, the next question to understand whether he knows about carbon dating is to talk about the 1 sigma and 2 sigma variations. What are the differences between 1 sigma
I
and 2
just
sigma?
told you, using the method of carbon dating.
What is the difference
scholars
between
have told
1
us
sigma and 2
that
sigma?
The Birmingham portfolio, which is sort of 18, 19,
Hello,
20,
Chris.
he won't address
What is the
I'm saying.
difference?
He doesn't care. He knows that his scholars
What
have
is
shown
the difference
Birmingham portfolio
between
contradicts
1
Islam's
sigma
narrative.
and 2 sigma?
The Uthmanic Codex is completely destroyed as a narrative because of the Birmingham
You know what?
portfolio and
Brother,
the
brother.
radiocarbon dating.
I think, you know what?
have a massive
You know what?
problem,
We-
and he won't address it
Chris.
because he has to attack me.
Chris,
Look, how many
Intelligent
times he
Chris.
attacks me,
Look,
and how many
I
times
asked
he
him
attacks my
how many
arguments.
questions. How many times have I asked him questions? 2 questions. In terms of understanding someone's knowledge base about radiocarbon dating, one second. The very basics of radiocarbon dating, he should know what
Did
1
you study
sigma.
it? Did you study it?
Like
Did you study it?
anyone,
Did you study it? Do you have a degree in it? Do you have a degree in it?
anyone. You don't need a degree or
You're on a
PhD.
mission.
You don't need a degree.
Do you understand?
agree.
Chris,
Oh, so we're on the same level. Right, great. Anyway, the
I am.
portfolio.
Listen.
You won't answer my question.
Chris,
You won't answer my question.
Chris. Do you know what this debate is about?
Do you know what palimpsest
No,
is?
it's about
Do you
you
know what
getting
palimpsest
Wait.
to the topic.
Do you know what this debate is about?
Do you know
I
what
agreed
palimpsest
to debate for 5 minutes to demonstrate
To attack my
whether,
character.
not character,
To attack my
whether
character.
you know about the subject
Ad hominem
matter.
is an example of a fallacious
Okay,
argument.
what have I
This
attacked
man
him? Excuse me.
demonstrates it
What have I
beautifully.
attacked him? What did I say about him? It's person?
Changing the subject.
Excuse me. What did I say? I
What is
am
the
about
palimpsest?
to demonstrate
What's a palimpsest?
whether he knows about the subject matter.
What
Right.
is a
Okay.
palimpsest?
Brother, Jazakallah khairan. Thank you. So firstly,
What is
no,
palimpsest?
it is a debate about whether you know about the subject. So
I literally just told you. I told you. I just gave you the Birmingham portfolio discovered in 2015. Yes, it's currently hosted
Right.
in Birmingham.
My
It's
final
hosted
question.
for 18,
My
19,
final question to establish.
What's a palimpsest?
Look,
What is a palimpsest?
I'm asking. I am the
You
one
tell me.
asking.
What's a palimpsest?
Listen, Chris.
Tell me now.
No.
Let's see if he knows.
The debate was me asking you questions to establish. Right.
Answer this question.
Now hear me out.
palimpsest?
Now hear me out.
palimpsest?
My final question. My final. Listen.
He doesn't know the subject matter.
My
right?
final
He doesn't
question-
know what a palimpsest is.
If I didn't know the subject matter, why are you so interested to talk
It's
to
an
me?
attack of character.
Look, if I didn't know the subject matter, why would someone be foolish to talk to me then?
Because you're an idiot.
What are you
And people
talking
will
about?
assume you're easy.
Look.
What's the topic?
Now that's not ad hominem. That's not
No,
insulting
I'm not
character.
saying your argument is wrong, I'm saying you're an idiot.
Okay, he's just calling me an idiot, right? And we have now a Christian apologist, wannabe. He wants to debate with idiots. Wow.
No, I want to debate
Right.
very best.
All right.
Are
Now,
you a man
okay.
of knowledge?
So
On
now,
this topic, are you a man of
my
knowledge?
final question.
Are you a man of knowledge?
Chris,
Are you a man of knowledge?
Chris, my final question.
What do you want to debate?
My final question.
Mansur,
My
what's
final
the
question to
topic?
you. Are you
You've
listening?
not answered a single one
Are
of
you
my
listening to
questions.
my final question?
You can't debate me, can you?
Are you
You're
listening to my final
terrified of
question?
debating me.
My final question is,
Terrified of debating me.
when it comes to
This is your day.
when it comes to the dating of manuscripts, do we take the mean, median, or average?
What is a palimpsest?
I'm asking you the question.
Look guys, is this what you want? Is this really what you want? Or do you want an actual argument? Do you want an actual argument?
Stop.
He won't
Do
debate.
you know Jay Smith made the blunder, and he's going to learn from him,
You
right?
made blunder.
Right.
This man has been on
Okay.
camera.
Okay.
Said no Quran differs, letter by letter,
Excuse me.
word by word. That's a
So when
lie,
it comes
and he
to
knows it's a lie.
so when it
Wanna talk
comes
about
to
it? Let's talk about
the
the Quran.
radiocarbon dating,
Let's talk about the Quran.
when it comes to the
What do you think about
radiocarbon
this? What do you think
dating,
about this?
do we take the
a
mean,
palimpsest?
the median, the average? What do we take? What do you take?
All the modes.
Okay. So have you heard him? Excuse me.
There you are.
Wait.
There you are. There you
Okay.
are.
The 5 minutes is
They use
over.
trickery,
One
and
second.
They target those
Wait.
who are new to the cause.
Excuse me.
This is the example of the
Okay.
day.
Chris,
You won't engage with me.
did you answer any of my questions?
Did you answer any of mine?
Okay.
I literally
Okay.
gave you an argument.
Do you want me to answer your questions?
Right, yeah, here we go.
Good.
First one.
Before you stop. Before you do that, remember what we agreed on? I said.
never agreed on anything.
Okay,
I just
no.
wanted to debate.
Wait. Before I debate anyone, I try to establish whether the person knows the subject matter or not. Did I not say that to you?
Really?
Thank
Did you
you.
come to the conclusion as an expert?
And then, stop, don't interrupt. And then, said, the reason why I don't want to debate Chris is because he doesn't know the subject matter. Did I say that?
What's the subject?
You're
Thank you.
attacking my
I said,
character
right.
and not addressing the
And then what I
arguments that
said,
I made.
now let us debate for 5 minutes to establish.
We haven't debated. We
Wait,
haven't even debated.
please,
You
be
just
fair.
said-
What did I say? I'm going to establish. Do you know what I said? It's all on tape. I said, I am going to establish whether Chris knows about the subject matter. Did I not say that? Did I not say that?
Why don't you just why do you
Sorry,
debate?
did I not say that? Hang on. Did I not say that? Yes, I did. So now I asked him 3 questions. Hang on, please. Sorry, I apologize. I asked him 3 questions to establish whether he knows the subject matter. I asked him about BP and 1950, year 1950.
What's a palimpsest?
Hang on. I asked him. Look. I asked him that. Right. Then I asked him. Stop.
Who knows the most terminology?
Hang on.
That's the argument.
Stop. It's not my argument.
Wait, by your logic then, if
And
you
then
can't
I
answer
asked
the
him,
question, you are not a
what is
person
the
of
difference
knowledge.
between 1 sigma and 2 sigma? The third question I asked him, when it comes to dating, listen. And when it comes to dating, do we take? Okay, hang on. Wait. Okay. Answer my 3 questions, and I'll answer yours.
Okay, no, I'm not playing this. Answer these 3 questions.
No, answer my 3 questions, and I'll answer
gave you
yours.
a technical
Look,
time.
I will answer his questions if he answers my 3 questions first.
Right, his argument is because I can't give a technical definition, therefore I'm not willing to
Not
debate.
definition.
I gave the same to you.
Not
he also
definition.
can't meet it.
Not
By the
definitions.
same logic, he
Look.
himself is not worthy of debating.
Chris, I said to all the cameras, I will, God willing, answer his questions only provided that he answers my questions. Right. So now answer the question number 1.
No, you answer my
Why do we use 1950 here?
What is a palimpsest?
Hang on. I will answer.
Answer now.
No, I will answer only if you answer mine. Do you know that? Okay.
I don't care.
Do you know?
what a
Do you know
palimpsest
the
is.
answer to my
Because that's
questions?
not essential to my arguments.
Do you know the answer to
I'm
my
not
questions?
interested in attacking your character. I'm interested
Do you
in
know?
debating.
Do you know the answer to my
Why
questions?
are you only interested in attacking my character?
I haven't attacked your character
You
yet.
actually said, I don't think he's even worth debating. Here's how I'm going to evaluate that he's not even worth debating.
So do you know the
That's
subject
an
matter?
attack on me.
Do you know the subject matter?
Why don't you just debate me?
Okay. Do you know the subject? Do you know the subject? Do you know the principle?
I did after he said this
Brother,
to me on many times.
do you know the principles of radiocarbon dating?
Listen, I want to debate
Do you know the principles of radiocarbon
You know
dating?
what palimpsest is?
I'm asking you, Chris. You're not asking me what I know. I'm asking you what you know.
Yeah, because heaven forbid I ask you a question as
Look.
well, and then people
Look,
realise
the
you don't know
dispute
either.
is whether you know the subject matter or not
Mansur is
me.
going to go home and he's going to Google what a palimpsest is.
Chris, do you know the principles of radiocarbon dating?
Why don't you debate my arguments?
Do you know the principle of radiocarbon
Why don't
dating?
you debate my arguments?
Okay, so now you don't know. Okay, I'm making a claim. He doesn't know.
What a palimpsest is.
He doesn't know what a BPA
You don't
is.
know what a palimpsest is.
Okay, does he know what?
What's a palimpsest?
Excuse me. Does he know the
Question
principle?
twice.
Listen, brother, second, brother, listen. Because this discussion and debate was about whether Chris even knows about the subject matter, so he needs to demonstrate that.
About the burning
He needs to
of
demonstrate that.
About when it was discovered.
What's Do you know the principles? Do you know the principles? Do you know the principles? Do you know the? Do you know the principles? So now it is evidently clear that he doesn't know any.
Means that you can destroy him.
I just did.
This is how I know you will never debate me because you will never ever win a debate.
Answer my questions.
You will never
Answer
win
the
a
questions.
debate. What's a palimpsest?
Answer the questions.
You will never win a debate.
Answer the questions.
You have demonstrated you don't have knowledge.
Answer.
And you have demonstrated you are afraid of debate.
Chris,
If you weren't, you would have just debated me.
I am debating someone doesn't know. Brother, excuse me. Do you want to go behind the camera with it? Because you're not very patient. Thank you. Okay, Chris, listen. Stop that. Brother, excuse me. What are you doing? Okay, Chris, did I say to you, are you listening? Did I say to you, I will answer your questions only once you answer my questions. So now, answer the first question. Why?
I don't need to answer these questions.
You need to answer
I
it.
need
Because you haven't got a clue about radiocarbon dating.
I literally gave you an
You haven't got a clue about radiocarbon dating.
portfolio. I told you
You
the
haven't got a
source.
clue
I
about
told you
radiocarbon
the fact of how the
dating.
material or the ink is dated based on the levels of
Okay.
carbon.
Anyone-
Approximation.
Anyone who knows about radiocarbon dating, listen.
What we're addressing.
Okay. Anyone who knows about radiocarbon dating should know the difference between
us a
1
lecture.
sigma and 2 sigma. What is the difference? What is the difference? Chris, what is the difference between 1 sigma and 2 sigma?
What?
Anyone who is sincere and genuine and knowledgeable about the subject matter of carbon dating should say, yeah, let me tell you about 1 sigma and 2 sigma. The 1 sigma
Anyone who's
is,
sincere about the same topic would know what a palimpsest is, so answer.
listen,
Answer.
are you trying to ascertain my knowledge on the subject, or am I trying to ascertain your knowledge?
I'm trying to ascertain yours as well as you're trying to ascertain
No, the debate wasn't for that. The debate we started from, watch the tape. The
You have
debate
been
we
called out
started
because
to
you
see
target
whether
those
you
who
know
don't
the
know
subject
what
matter.
they're
Chris,
You target those who are new in the faith.
Chris,
You don't go for people who are
Chris,
knowledgeable.
Chris,
That's
when it comes to radiocarbon dating,
Shameful.
do we take the median date?
What's a palimpsest? You literally have no idea.
A palimpsest. Okay. Educate me. Educate me. Go on. Educate me.
You don't know.
No, educate me. Educate me.
You don't know.
I don't think you know
tell you what
either.
it is.
Educate me.
Do you want to do it? All right, here we go. A palimpsest is the underlying written text that's underneath an overlaying text on a manuscript. That's what a palimpsest is.
Okay. So wait. So a okay. Hang on.
Guys,
So
guys,
wait.
come on.
Wait.
Come on.
Right. So now.
You.
Good. So he's
Can we now have a debate?
wait.
Can we now have a
So
debate?
you have educated me.
Have I proved that I know enough?
No.
Oh no.
You ready?
I don't need
You ready?
I lost a mastermind with Mansur.
So because now you're ready to prove to me. Now tell me, when it comes to radiocarbon dating, do we take the median date?
We could have had.
Do we take the median
20,
date?
30-minute debate by now.
Listen.
We could have had a debate.
What is that?
I don't care. Look, dude.
Okay. Do we take the median date?
He knows he's going to lose.
Okay.
Let's talk about the Quran.
Hang
Let's
on.
talk about
So
the
when I watched one of your debates with a Muslim, listen.
You did.
When I watched
It's an
it,
attack on me again. It is an attack
listen.
on me. I have a funny feeling it's an attack on me.
I'm just telling you what I listened to.
Okay.
So I listened to you talking about how we date through radiocarbon dating. And Chris, and you talked about median date. So now, can you educate me? Do we take the median dates when it comes to radiocarbon dating?
Why don't you talk about the argument that I made?
Can you educate me?
The Birmingham portfolio
Can you-
has a carbon,
listen,
radiocarbon
Chris,
dating that precedes
Chris, this discussion will settle that you have no clue what you're talking about. So educate me now on number 2 question.
I made my
Do we
argument.
take the median date?
Let me make my argument.
Chris,
He won't let you make it.
when it comes to dating, radiocarbon dating, do we take the average?
Dude,
Do we take the average?
you're playing this whole...
No, I'm asking you. Do you know about it?
You didn't know what a palimpsest was.
When did I say I didn't know?
You literally went, what is it then?
No,
had to
I
tell
asked,
you and you went,
no,
okay.
no, I asked you to educate me, right?
You didn't know much.
No. I wanted to establish whether you knew. So now I want to know whether you know about radiocarbon dating.
Right. So I just...
When it comes to, let me ask you again, one more time. We take the date.
Only once, not 10.
Okay, last time then.
Can
Very
I make
good.
an argument finally?
Okay.
I want to
Now,
make an argument.
how do we date?
Listen,
How do we
listen,
date?
listen.
Which date do we take?
Listen. Radiocarbon...
Chris, which date do we take when it comes to radiocarbon dating?
Must match, not Tinder.
Which date do we take? Which date do we take?
Listen, carbon dating gives you a range, yes?
And which date do we
Right,
take?
listen. You can
Listen
take,
carefully.
Listen.
Listen carefully.
Of that range, yes, there is a earliest range and a latest range. And this is up for debate based on what you're actually measuring.
What does it
For
mean?
example, the Birmingham portfolio measured the parchment.
No, what does it mean?
measured the ink.
What does it mean,
Right.
earlier and
So
later
you-
range?
you can take-
What does it mean?
You can take a point between the... You can average... That might be a good
What do
idea.
the scholars do?
You can take an average, that'd be one method.
What do the scholars do?
A scholar will take this into account as one of the accurate ways.
What
of dating.
date do the scholars take?
Another way of dating.
No. What date do the
Let me
scholars
give
take?
you an answer.
Okay, listen.
So the Hijazi script is one of the earliest forms of script that we know. That's why when we look at things that are in the Hijazi script, like the Birmingham portfolio manuscript are, they're early. And with the radiocarbon date, we can give a range. Now, the range by carbon dating is between 570 and 645. That's a problem because if you take the earlier range, that means before Muhammad had a revelation in the Hira cave. That will mean the Islamic narrative is false. That's my argument. Now, address that argument.
What date?
Having to make you
Listen.
wait 30 minutes.
Wait. Chris.
Do you want to address my
So, listen carefully now.
You said you only
So,
can answer it once.
no. We have asked that. Right. So now,
address my argument?
you talked about
I said something.
Chris.
that's the response.
the earlier range and the later range.
Right.
What do they mean?
There are the possible ranges of which from that test, and the test can be wrong because you can do multiple carbon dating tests.
No, what does it-
also depends. I'm literally explaining.
Oh, you're explaining. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so again, there are different tests that you can do, and some will give different results. But the general premise is that you can say that this is evidence for a particular range dating. Yes.
Okay.
Understand?
So,
right. So one.
look, clarify to me, educate me on this.
Right.
So, can we take any date from
Why am I
this range?
teaching this guy? I just wanted to debate.
Hey.
Now he's like, actually,
Chris,
get PowerPoint.
Chris.
Shall I start doing a PowerPoint
Chris,
presentation?
Chris, can we take any date from the range?
You can take anything from there as being a potentiality, yes.
Yeah. So, what about taking the middle range at the middle?
You could do that, yes.
Yeah. What do the scholars do?
Listen, Well, it depends. Certain scholars.
Any
will
scholar,
date.
any
So,
scholar.
for example, there are Islamic scholars that
No,
don't like
any
listen
scholar.
to what I'm saying. So, the Uthmanic copy came from when? You know this. Where did Uthman produce his Uthman
So when it comes to
copy?
taking the dates, when it comes to the dates, the scholars take. Wait. When the scholars take the
When
dates,
was the
look.
Uthmanic copy?
Any man, Chris, listen. When we date any Quranic manuscripts or any manuscripts, radiocarbon dating, right? Carefully.
When was the Uthmanic
Listen,
copy?
I am answering.
Okay, tell me.
Right, listen. Right. Move back a little bit. Okay. So when we have
Use that every time.
when we have the scholars, do they take the median date at the middle?
Well, no, you can take any point within that range.
I'm asking you, do the scholars
Take any point. So, for example,
listen, Chris?
still haven't
Can
answered my question.
I clarify my question to you? Is that okay?
well, you should answer mine.
Is that okay to clarify the question?
I asked you about Uthman.
Like,
Because that was
do the scholars, do the scholars, Chris, do the scholars take a median dating?
There are different ways you can do it.
Now, I'm asking you.
One way is you can take
Name me a scholar who takes the average.
You can do that.
Name me a scholar who does.
You can do that. I'll tell you.
Name me a
What
scholar
I'm
who says you
saying
can.
is There are other scholars that take other parts within that date. You
Name me a
understand?
scholar who can. Wait.
That's not my argument.
Wait.
You're not getting what
No.
I'm saying.
What I'm establishing, Chris, perhaps you didn't know, because this is being on tape. So the
You
people.
don't know a lot of things. You know what
Listen.
palimpsest is?
Wait.
You know when Uthman put his copy-
I didn't say I didn't know what palimpsest.
No, you waited until I told you, and then you went, oh.
No, I wanted you to tell me. Likewise,
You are
likewise, Chris.
so shifty.
Listen, Chris. Likewise, I want you to tell me what the scholars say about taking the median
There are
date.
some scholars
Like
that
who?
don't take any point.
Like who?
Dr.
Get rid of your chip off your shoulder.
I can't remember. I can't pronounce the name.
Try again. Google it or take on your notes, because I want to have the scholar.
Wait, listen.
I want to know the scholar who says you can take one date from that range.
I'm not making that argument.
No. You said you understand radiocarbon dating. There are scholars who will take one particular
There are also
date.
scholars that won't.
Wait. I want to talk about.
You can't make me say something I'm not saying.
Why are you watching TV?
I'm telling
No,
you.
I want to know,
Okay,
Chris,
can I make an argument?
I want to know which scholar.
Can't make your argument.
No, you can, but I want to know first of all, which scholar, please tell me. The whole world want to know.
interested on being in your question show.
Which scholar says it's okay to take one date within this range?
Scholars have a varied opinion about what point you take the date. Do you understand?
Can you take any one date from this?
Within the range, yes. Because it's within the range of the carbon dating. As long as it doesn't
okay.
contradict other evidence.
Sure.
For example, the Hijazi script, yes? We know that Hijazi
Stop.
Listen, no, I need to give an answer.
Before you
I
answer,
can't give an answer to you.
before you answer,
No, let me answer.
Okay.
Okay.
Answer.
The
Please answer.
Uthmanic copy,
Yeah.
do you know when that came about?
educate me. Right, go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to let you ask because I don't think you know. I don't think you know.
Carry on.
And I'm
Tell me.
I'm sick of having to like.
Tell me.
I'm sick of
Tell
being
me.
said I don't know.
Tell me.
things.
Tell me. What is it?
And then, no, I'm not telling you. I already told you. The
Okay,
process.
so you don't want to tell
So
me?
you don't know.
You don't want to tell me? That's fine.
All right,
So let
fine,
me.
I will tell you.
Okay,
Go on,
don't tell me.
you tell me.
No. You tell me.
It's his own religion.
Okay, so now,
He won't tell me his own religion.
Chris.
All right, okay.
So
let's
which
go through
scholar takes
Right.
one date
So
from
because-
this range?
Because of the date of the Uthmanic copy,
Yeah.
this is difficult because it falls outside that range given by the carbon dating.
Mm-hmm.
This makes it problematic because if you take any point within that range, you're now having to say that there was a copy of the Quran that predates the Uthmanic copy, which does not accord with the traditional Islamic view. That's my argument.
Okay.
Now,
So
address
wait.
my
I'm
argument.
going to address your argument. Firstly, how can I address an argument which is faulty? Let me tell you
Why
why.
is it faulty?
I'm going to tell you.
Mate, it took us half an hour.
Look. I'm going to tell you why it's faulty. You have just demonstrated that you have no understanding of what a radiocarbon dating is. And now let me tell you why.
Dude, you don't know what a palimpsest is. Like, why are we doing this?
Hang
attacks? Why are
on.
you attacking?
Wait, I'm
Why
going
are
to
you
demonstrate to you.
attacking my character?
I'm not attacking your character.
Logic.
I'm
Logic and
demonstrating
reason.
you're ignorant about it.
Right, so again, attacking my character.
I'm not attacking your character.
You're literally-
If you demonstrate I don't know something about something, it doesn't mean you're attacking my character.
Of course it does. You're saying that you won't debate me because you're saying I don't know enough. That's an attack on my character.
No, that's not
Address
an
my
attack on
argument.
anything.
Yes, it
So here it is. So tell me again, name me one scholar that you remember, or you can pull up, that can take one, let's say they take, okay, I'm going to take the date.
Do you know the
Wait,
ranges?
sorry.
Do you know the ranges?
I'm speaking now. Name me one scholar who can say, I'm going to take the date of 650 as the date of that manuscript. Just one date. Wait. Remember what he said? You can take anything on that range, right? Right.
That's not in the range.
Wait.
Do you know what the ranges are?
Imagine you have 500 and 700. Listen, Chris, I'm answering. Give me the range. No.
I'm not good. No, he's asking me for the range.
Okay, let me give you the range.
Okay, yeah.
Hypothetically, brother, please. Hypothetically, if you have a manuscript dated between 500 and 700,
Tell me the range.
listen, Chris.
Tell me the date.
Listen, I'm establishing principles.
He's establishing principles.
Yes. So if you have a manuscript that has a range between 500 and 700,
That's not the carbon dating.
You said you weren't going to ask this question.
Tell me.
listen.
20 minutes ago.
Do you know carbon dating? Do you know this topic?
What do you think?
Well, given that you didn't know what a palimpsest was.
When did I say I didn't know what palimpsest?
I had to tell you.
No, I asked you to define it. Does that mean I didn't know? When a teacher asks you what is a palimpsest, he says the teacher doesn't know. Well done, well done, well done.
Ask the student for the
Okay, Chris. Now, when you have a manuscript, give me a dating of any manuscript. Give me the range of any
I
manuscript.
think you can't actually address that.
Hang on, give me dating of any range. Give me any range. Go on.
I'm not going to tell you. You should already know because you're supposed
Listen,
to be a higher person.
I am going to demonstrate to you,
Attacked my character.
Chris. If you have a range,
Tell me the range.
Chris, a scholar.
Look at those candles.
Okay.
Hold them. Don't get your phone out.
No, I want to show you something. I want to show you a video. I'm going to show you a video. Do you know a video I'm going to
His
show?
phone out now. Because I've been telling him, listen. Are you,
Wait.
What are you Googling? What are you Googling?
I'm not Googling. So now, this is about radiocarbon dating, people. Look, listen. Silence,
this
please,
your
silence.
video?
No, it's not my video. Scholars. So now, I'm going to show it
He's
to you.
appealing to scholars because he himself admits
No.
he's lacking knowledge.
I am going to now,
Apparently, I don't know enough.
Chris, for the record, I am going to get the scholars refuting you. I'm going to get the scholars refuting you.
Refuting what?
Refuting your ignorance about radiocarbon
All I've
dating.
literally said is that here are the dates for the particular carbon dating of the going on.
Which is what?
I'm not telling you because I don't think you know.
Oh, you don't remember?
I've literally said it like 3 times.
What
so
was
far.
it? What was it?
You don't know.
No, tell me, what was
Know the
it?
dating.
Okay.
He's telling me I'm
Chris,
ignorant, but he doesn't know.
Chris,
Can't answer a single
do you know Hyde and do you know Gabriel Reynolds?
Keep asking him, do you know?
Okay, do you know him?
Wait, you can't answer my questions. Why should I answer yours?
Fine. Those of you, those of you who are interested in radiocarbon dating, ICSA, International Quranic Studies Association, invited a scholar, and invited by who? Gabriel Said Reynolds, a Christian scholar. I'm addressing. Listen carefully, I'm addressing. And for people like yourself, very knowledgeable, egotistic, right? Right. Good. People like
You're
you.
apparently amazing up there.
Listen.
Mister, I don't know what a palimpsest is.
Chris, listen. He's addressing the precise question that I was addressing. That do you know which date we take? You said there are some scholars who will take one particular date in the middle or anywhere in the range. Did you not say that?
It's important to understand.
Did you not say that?
My argument is this. The Uthmanic copy came about at a particular time.
We are talking about-
Listen, it's important.
Okay.
But the dating does not cover that. In other words, if you accept the carbon dating, you have to accept that there were copies of the Quran that came about before the Uthmanic recension. That is my argument.
Okay. In response,
Now,
I'll address it. Listen.
Finally.
What I'm addressing is the principle.
Do I know what the...
Chris, I'll address it. Firstly, the manuscripts that you're referring to is which one? Which one?
Of what surahs? I've said it many times.
Wait.
Yes, that's what. The others.
Dated, right?
What's the other?
Do you know?
the others?
Do you know which labs they're dated in?
I don't think he actually knows.
Okay. Do you know which labs dated them?
Dude.
Do you know this?
You-
Do you know?
Dude.
What do you know?
I can ask you.
What do you know?
They were dated. They were dated.
You know that.
Leon.
What surahs?
Leon.
What
Wait.
surahs are they?
I'm going to tell you.
tell me now.
Hang on. The manuscripts that we are talking about, dated by Oxford.
That's not an answer to my question.
Who dated them?
That's not an answer to my question.
No.
What surahs are we talking
You tell
about?
me. Hang on. Tell me. me, tell me.
Why don't
You tell me.
Is this the best
No,
you have?
you tell me. Wait. You tell me. Tell me.
You tell him.
I have already mentioned many times in this debate. Rewind the camera.
which surah
and
is
I
it?
mentioned the surahs.
Which surah is
Rewind
it?
the camera.
Which surah was it? Okay. You know what? Out later when I rewind, but what I want to ask you is, which labs dated it? Chris, I'm asking you a question. Which labs dated it? Which labs?
Why is it I have to jump through your hoops? But when I ask you questions about it, I don't know.
In the principle of radiocarbon dating, do you know it's important to know which labs
I
dated
think
it?
you've shown that you yourself...
Do you know? Do you know it is important to know which labs dated it?
I had to tell you what a pontus was. You don't know when the Uthmanic copy came about. You don't know particular surahs which are in the Birmingham portfolio.
Did I ever say I didn't know?
I'm asking you, do you know?
Did I ask you? I do know.
You do know, you tell me.
No. Before I tell you, hang on.
Okay, he's going to tell me.
Look,
He's going to tell me.
before I tell him,
Okay, he's going to tell me.
is it important to know which labs dates which
Is it
manuscripts?
important to know which surahs are in the Birmingham
What
portfolio?
their shoe size is.
How does
Very important.
a content of a surah determine the age of a manuscript? Tell me.
No, because those particular surahs have particular content in it which copies previous stories found in other documents. Anyway,
So
there's
even
answers.
listen.
Now,
Even if it's
answer
surah
my
8,
question.
even
Answer-
if it was surah 18, even if it's surah 18,
which one?
I listen. What I'm telling
Tell me
you,
the surahs.
whenever we are dating a manuscript, hang on, whenever we're dating manuscripts, I'm asking you, is it important to know which labs dated it and why?
Why is that relevant to what I've asked you?
I'm going to tell you. Because if you have a very bad laboratory, and it doesn't have the right quality standards,
You reject the carbon dating.
hey, listen. If you have a bad lab and it has no good quality standards, then this dating, the results, listen, the results will be rejected by
Do
scholars.
you reject the results?
Listen,
Very simple question.
the results.
Do you reject the results?
I am answering. I'm going to answer.
You've been answering for this
I
entire
am
time.
answering.
You still haven't answered.
If you're patient enough, I'll tell you.
Well, how long?
So,
It's been like...
hang
how long
on.
has it been?
Be patient then. So we have, for example,
What? Oh, you don't want to debate.
Okay.
You don't want to waste time.
okay, so now a particular manuscript, please, a particular manuscript, for example, of Sana, is dated.
Yes.
And it has several date ranges. Right. Do you know which labs dated it?
I know about the Sana manuscript. I
Which
know
labs
about
dated
the
it?
rough dating of which is given.
Do you know which labs dated
Why
it?
is that relevant?
Because, as I mentioned to you, the quality of doing the experiment.
Do you reject the dating?
Scholars do.
So you do.
Scholars do.
I want to know your argument.
Okay, my argument is
Okay, fine.
the scholars will reject the dating if it's not coming from a reputable lab with good quality standards.
So you
For
reject
example,
the Birmingham portfolio
listen,
dating?
for example, when we dated the Sana manuscripts by Chris, I'm telling you, learn something now.
Yes
Learn
or no.
something now.
Just
By
say yes or no,
Oxford,
Mansur.
by Zurich, by Lyon, by
It doesn't matter. Answer
by
my
Arizona. Do you know what scholars say? The scholars say,
What shoe size
the
is.
scholars say there are datings produced by, for example, Lyon, which gives you a earlier dating is due to contamination. Were you aware of that?
Are you? Well, you weren't aware of the palm set.
Are you
You're not
aware of that?
the Uthmanic of the
Are you
Uthmanic
aware of
code?
what I'm saying?
You're not aware of the particular source.
Chris, are you aware of what I just
What
told
is-
you?
Okay, your argument then is that you reject the dating of the
No,
Birmingham.
not me personally. The scholars.
He's not even making
The
an argument.
scholars.
What are you even arguing about?
The scholars. Now,
So do you accept what those say?
listen carefully firstly.
Do you accept what they say?
Carefully, Chris. So now tell me, on the radiocarbon dating,
Slowest falling off a cliff I've ever seen.
radiocarbon dating, can we take the date in the middle?
Why are you obsessed with it?
Can we take it in the middle?
You can take out the date at any point between the two ranges.
Even the middle, yeah?
If you wanted to.
Yeah.
You take an average,
What
maybe
about-
that's a metric.
Right.
Right.
So good. So now this is what I'm learning from you is this.
and you know how that relates to my argument.
Sorry. I'll tell you why. So now Chris is telling us we can have a date in the middle or even an average to take the debate. Now, according to the scholars, what is the probability of that date being correct if it's exactly in the middle, average? Give me a probability.
My point is that you only accept the carbon dating as a probability term from that metric alone of the dating of that particular object.
Do you know what binomial distribution is?
Do you know what quantum? Mate, I can ask you.
Do you know it?
questions.
Do you know?
Pointless.
Do you know?
When was Uthman's copy? When was Uthman's copy?
No.
Tell me the year of
Okay,
Uthman's copy.
let me now show it to you.
Don't get
Wait.
your
Do you know what this is, right?
Yes.
This is a curve described as what?
Standard deviation.
Right, standard deviation.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
What is the probability that a particular data can...
Take
Wait.
along with Do you
I'm
know
going to ask
the
you...
extremes of a standard deviation.
wait.
Do you understand this?
I'm going to ask you a question, right? Good,
Dude, why are
good.
you asking me questions? Why don't you just
So,
debate me?
is the radiocarbon dating using this principle?
You understand?
Do we radiocarbon date manuscript using this principle?
What I understand is this.
Answer the question.
Listen, you can take any range.
Can you
of
answer the
dates.
question?
I literally am, but you don't like my answer.
Can we take... Do we use this principle first of all?
You can if you want.
If we... Oh,
You can if you want.
okay, good.
But you can also
Take the
pick
point.
any date between the early and the ending date. That's
Okay,
one
listen.
metric for the
Wait.
dating of the object.
Okay,
Do you
listen.
understand? Based
No,
on
I
the
don't.
command-
No, I don't. Let me tell you why I don't. Let me tell you why I don't.
Why is-
If you understood anything about stats and this binomial distribution curves... Wait.
I don't know.
Radiocarbon dating.
I
Now,
thought it was about radiocarbon dating.
it is.
Right, okay.
Precisely
So I
that.
gave you the 2 dates, which you forgot.
Wait.
Anyway,
No, I've not finished yet.
I've not even started.
What is the probability...
It's an unfair and an
Brother, please.
insincere-
No, you're making it easy. Okay, it's okay, brother.
is this
What is the probability of a data falling at the middle? 100%.
I don't need to know that. All I need to
No,
know.
I'm asking you, what did the
all I
scholar
need
say?
to know
What did
is
the
that
scholar
the
say?
radiocarbon dates that are given are the more likely probability that falls within those dates.
Excuse
I point within those dates and it will be acceptable in scholarship.
Right.
Now,
I am
let's talk
saying...
about the consequences of
I am saying...
Talk about the consequences.
Yes,
Listen,
no.
this is my argument. Listen.
You have confused.
My argument.
Why are you listening, man?
The dates that are given.
Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. Carry on.
So
I'm listening.
the problem is man standardized the Quran into a Qurayshi dialect.
talking about
One
this.
Qurayshi- yeah, the problem is, and I've said it for times now, dating what Islam says that happened falls outside this range. Do you understand? That's a problem because that means you have Qurans that were compiled before the Uthmanic Codex. This is why Islamic scholars will basically say this is a problem. We don't want to say that this came before the Uthmanic period because otherwise we have to say that Quran existed before Uthman's time. That's the issue.
Okay,
That's
Chris.
it.
Can I
Now listen
respond?
to his amazing
Can I respond?
rebuttal.
Now.
There is an attack on my character.
Okay, listen.
You're asking me a question.
Now, listen, Chris. Principle of radiocarbon dating.
Principle of the, oh my God. Answer
Do
the
you reject
question.
what I've said?
Are you going to allow me to respond?
Do you reject what I say? Do you reject what I've said?
Is he now rude, interrupting me? Is he rude?
I just want to
You do
know.
it continually all the time.
Would you call him rude now? Would you call him rude?
You do it all the
Would you
time.
call him rude?
You are
Look at the double
interrupting him more
standard.
than you.
Note all of that. Look at the double standard. He would not call him
You are
rude.
an arrogant
Right.
numpty.
Thank you, Chris.
You
Will you
barrage
respond?
him with questions.
Steve,
You don't even give him a chance.
Now
to
we know
answer,
which side
and
you're on.
You refuse
Good.
to answer any
Now
of
I'm
his
going to answer.
questions.
I'm going to answer. Don't interrupt.
Do you want to listen now?
Don't interrupt.
Do you accept
Do you want
what
to
I've
listen
said?
to me now?
No.
You
Don't
barrage
interrupt.
at
Don't
questions,
interrupt.
You don't give him a
So
chance.
because you say, because...
Don't answer any of his questions.
See you later. So now you're
Don't
saying,
answer any of his
in
questions.
relation to the question
Try
I...
answering some of his questions.
Jazakumullah
Try
khairan. Please
answering
note
some
all,
of his
right?
questions,
Thank you.
man.
Too much noise.
Don't be so arrogant.
Right.
Try
Okay.
answering a question.
You asked...
Don't answer questions.
You asked in relation to the question that I asked you, right? Remember the question I asked you? So, okay, your argument is because this dating falls outside the range that Islamic tradition says when...
So I'm just going to. I'm good.
That's called positive.
I don't want you to
encouraging
tell,
you.
I want you to be
I'm doing it to
listening.
encourage you. All right.
I don't want your encouragement. Thank
Well,
you.
you're having difficulty
Right.
saying it.
Oh yes. Oh, difficulty. So because your argument is this, because the dating range falls outside a time earlier than even the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
That's not my argument.
Listen, okay. Because the dating falls outside the range when traditionally the Uthmanic manuscript is believed to have been written, Islamic scholars having a doubt about it and responding differently. My counter response is, who cares about Islamic scholarship? We are interested in, listen, we are interested in, we are
Who cares about Islamic scholars?
we are interested in what exactly say. So if you have a why are you interrupting me? No, why are you interrupting me? Why are you interrupting me? Don't be rude. No, I don't want you to. Patient and listen, don't interrupt. Okay? Be civilized. Right, thank you. Thank you. So now we have people. Okay, assalamu alaikum. Brother, you're not helping. You're making noise. I don't want you to speak. No, I don't want you to speak. Thank you. Right. So what I'm saying is this. Please, no talking. Thank you. So, scholars have given their response on the datings, which perhaps you didn't know. Did they talk about, let me ask you now in return, did they talk about, do we need to look at the labs that dated it? How accuracy, how precise, two things, accuracy and precision. Wait, I'm not finished. When I finish, you answer. Accuracy and precision of the dating, right? Accuracy and precision of the data. And the quality control standards that we have in those labs. If this is the case, what dating do they favor scientifically because of the issues at hand? Not because, traditional dating of Uthmanic manuscript is a different date, so we must now somehow do. No, I'm talking about the dating itself are using radiocarbon dating principles. So when I asked you, you said, let me finish. When we have a binomial distribution or a unimodal, bimodal, whatever distribution, let me get a clarification from you. Wait, it does, I'll tell you why. Because that demonstrates how much you know about the subject matter. So, what is the probability of a data point, like a certain date of a manuscript? Let me finish. I'm not finished. I want you to hear my question. Okay, I want you to listen to the question and then answer, right? So, say this is a date range of a Quranic manuscript, right? Listen, I don't want you to say anything. I want you to listen. Imagine that is the dating of the Birmingham manuscript, a date range. Wait. Why are you talking when I'm saying don't talk?
Don't want to know.
No, I'm going to let you speak when I finish. Does that make sense to you?
This is how you
Does that, no. Because I want to ask a specific question without any interruption. Look, hang on. So, according to scholars who knows about carbon dating, what is the probability? Listen carefully. What is the probability of a data point, like a range, not a range, a date a particular manuscript was scribed, if they were to take the point here, the middle, yeah? What do you call that point in the middle? No, in the middle of the curve, what it's called?
I didn't take, what you call it?
Do you know what it is?
I didn't take statistics.
So you don't know anything, okay. You don't know.
I understand standard deviation.
Yeah. But we're not talking about being expert. So you don't
bring up a graph. Explain the graph.
I didn't say explain the graph. I
You
said.
literally were like, what does this mean?
Hey.
What is the probability of
So
this? You don't even know how it relates to the Birmingham portfolio.
Chris, listen.
Okay, what dates the Birmingham portfolio?
Chris, the probability of a data point on the middle. Do you know how much percent is that? Guess. Guess.
33%.
Wrong. Try again. Try. I'll give you 5 points.
Why am I guessing, dude?
Do you know?
I've already told you I don't.
So you don't know. So now, so when people, okay, now,
I'm not an expert in statistics.
good. So when people, okay,
So how is that relevant to
I am
anything
going
I
to
just said?
stop. I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
When we radiocarbon date Quranic manuscripts, they fall in this kind of curves. Now, do scholars take a point like in the middle of the two dates? You said some scholars do. Right. I am telling you now and telling everyone else, no scholar, no, hear me word, N-O, no, zilch, zero scholar on planet Earth would take the middle date. Do you know why? You don't know why. Let me tell you now a little bit. Wait, yep. Literally. My argument was you haven't got a clue about radiocarbon dating and establishing that. The probability of the probability of a date point, a date to fall in the middle is not 100%, is not 50%.
I don't even know if you reject the actual date.
Chris, listen, I'm educating you now.
Dude,
I'm educating you. I am educating you.
Date?
So let me finish. Let me finish.
Mansur, what the dates?
The probability, listen, let me show you something. the probability a particular manuscript falls within this date, 2 dates, right? One on the left, on the right, is how much?
I don't know, you tell me.
Do you know?
Is it more probable than not?
Do you know?
Is it more probable than not?
No, I'm asking you the question. Do you know?
It is more probable than not that
Hang on.
it falls within the dating.
What's the probability?
Why? Because that's the point of radiocarbon dating.
No.
Namely, that you give a range based off the amount of carbon. Yes,
When we range
slowly
it,
been
Chris,
radiating
now I'm telling you now.
Listen.
When we
Let me
range,
explain it to you.
you shut up.
I've been doing this.
You be quiet. You're the cameraman.
So listen.
No.
Based off those dates,
Wait.
you would then be able to say
Wait,
with more probability
wait,
than not that
wait.
it falls within that date.
When you have this
Than
curve,
what
wait.
scholars do.
When you have this curve, do you know what 1 sigma and 2 sigma is?
Do I need to know?
Do you know? Either you know or you don't.
Okay, so do you know the dates?
Do you know the 1 sigma
Do you
and 2
know the
sigma?
dates?
Do you know the 1 sigma and 2
Because of
sigma
those
variation?
dates. I've mentioned it many
No.
times.
Do you know the 1 sigma and 2 sigma
Do you know the
dates?
dates given for the Birmingham portfolio?
I am asking you the 1 sigma. Look. Okay, read it.
I don't know.
Okay.
He asked you a question.
What does 2 sigma say?
Mansur, I don't think you know. I think that's the ultimate honesty.
Look,
I think
when
what
we
you've
look
done
at
is you've Googled
Chris,
standard deviation.
I don't Google it, my friend. We have a whole paper. We have a whole paper on Islamic awareness.
You're an expert of statistics.
Hey,
now.
listen. Let me
No,
tell
you're
you. If you go to IslamicAwareness.org, you'll find a paper called "Radiocarbon Dating of Quranic
they know, but
Manuscripts,"
not you.
and we laid out all the necessary principles that you need to understand radiocarbon dating.
but do you actually
Now,
disagree with the dating?
wait.
Do you disagree
Next
with the dating?
question. Right, next question, Chris. On this point, when we talk about 1 sigma variation and 2 sigma variation, let me tell you what it means. We have this probability of getting this particular. Let me finish.
so he can look
Let me
smart
finish.
rather
Let
than
me
actually
finish.
dress him out.
Let me finish. I'm educating you something that you thought you knew.
If you don't tell me within a few minutes, I'm just going to say that you don't know. You don't
Chris.
And on camera, you've been shown
The
not to know.
probability.
Just tell me.
The probability.
Simple.
The
Here's some
pro-
basic questions for
the
understanding whether
probability.
Mansur knows what he's talking about.
The
Number one.
Chris.
How many
Chris.
surahs and what surahs are
Chris.
there in the Birmingham portfolio?
Chris, listen.
Number two, when is the dating, the early dating and the late dating for the Birmingham manuscript portfolio? Tell me. Number three, when was the Uthmanic copy issued? When was it compiled? If you don't know the answers to those questions,
Sure.
you don't know what you're talking
Remember
about.
the discussion.
You don't know the answer.
The discussion.
Give me an answer.
Okay, Chris.
If you don't do it in 10 seconds, I'm going to say you don't know.
You can say whatever you like, Chris.
No,
So,
no.
wait.
Mansur,
So the
that's
discussion
power
was
shuffle.
right, Chris.
That's
Okay.
what you like,
So the
power
discussion.
shuffle.
Okay, thank you. So the discussion
You're
was.
going to ask me more questions.
I'm gonna stick to what I was asking.
No,
So the
what you
discussion
was
was.
asking?
I'm
Why
speaking
don't
now.
you answer that and
That
then
has
you-
I am speaking.
You understand?
I am speaking.
You
He asked
understand?
you three
Chris,
questions.
the discussion was whether you know anything about the subject matter or not.
And we've identified
So
that you
far,
also don't know lots of
so
things.
look. You can identify anything about me, no problem.
Yeah, but you're the one
But
who's
the question
attacking my
is,
character.
the question is whether you know anything about.
Three questions.
Three questions.
Three questions.
Can you
Three
ask
questions.
Answer those 3 questions. This is how we know answer the question. Understand?
You answer
Very
the three
simple.
questions.
Okay, so the probability. Look at the hecklers. The probability. Okay, don't be heckler. I'm answering now.
Oh, you answered.
The
Okay.
probability of any
That's
manuscript.
not my answer. That's not the questions I asked.
Why interrupt?
What are the
Why
answers?
interrupt?
Because you have
I
answers.
answer the way I like, not the way you
You're
like.
answering wrong. He
You
wants to
don't
know
answer.
probability.
That's your
The
way.
probability of any
No,
manuscript.
No, that's not what I asked.
Look at this.
Answer
individual.
the questions I asked. You
Chris.
didn't know what a palimpsest was.
Chris,
You didn't know.
did I say I didn't know?
I had to tell you. You were like, oh,
No.
you tell me, you tell me.
No, did I say I didn't know?
You had to ask
Did
me
I
to
say I
answer.
didn't know?
I asked him if you could
Did
tell
I
me.
say I didn't know?
Like in the same
Did
way
I
you
say I
refused
didn't
to tell
know?
me now.
Right. So now,
Okay, come on.
thank
Come
you.
on.
So,
Tell me the data.
Chris,
Tell me the data.
Chris,
Tell me
as
the
I'm
data.
establishing,
What is the data?
okay, I'm going to carry on talking anyway if you don't let me answer.
No, if you're
Okay,
not answering,
if you're not
fine.
going to let me
Then
answer,
you
I'm
refuse
going to
the
talk it
debate.
anyway.
Then you have
So I was
lost the
establishing,
debate.
hang on,
You've lost the debate because you can't
well
answer
done
the
to you,
data.
kudos to you. So now,
It's you who doesn't understand the
okay,
knowledge,
you know what,
not
good,
me.
good. So now those of you who are listening, and you, when we talk about radiocarbon dating, the
It's
reasons,
coming up. It's coming up.
okay, see you
It's
later,
coming up.
see you later.
You don't know.
See you later. No, you see you later. To all those cameras who are watching, right? Okay, bye-bye, bye-bye. Okay, bye-bye. I don't want to talk to you anymore.
not
Okay,
explained anything.
so now I'm going to explain to you, okay, people? Okay.
Answer my question
So now,
very
when we
basic.
talk about radiocarbon dating, the reason why we have a curve and ranges is because we want to know the probability of a particular manuscript falling within range. Because when we look at actual dating of...
So do you reject
Excuse me.
then
Excuse me.
the actual
I'm not talking.
dating?
Okay, can we just move forward here? Can we just move forward? And I'm not having a debate with you. I'm not talking to you. Come this way. Carry on. Carry on. See you later. So now... So what we have is this. When we have radiocarbon dating, we know when you look at the datings, because of the nature of how we establish radiocarbon dating, there's always going to be two dates, plus minus. Because when we come to standard deviation, there's always going to be plus this number of years and minus this number of years. You will always have a distribution curve. The probability of a particular manuscript falling under this range is what we say, does it fall within this range by 95% probability, 66% probability, or 68% probability? We identify these as 1 sigma, 2 sigma variations. So to be precise, when we have 1 sigma variation, it's 68% probability. When we have 3 sigma variations, it's actually 99% probability. What it means is this. A manuscript, we have 99% probability that the date of that manuscript within this range. The more you narrow this range, the probability gets less and less and less and less. So you have 99%, 68%, and so on and so forth. At a point when those individuals who have no knowledge about radiocarbon dating, they said, like his teacher, J. Smith, oh, we'll take the average in the middle. The probability of getting the average in the middle is almost 0%. Almost 0%. That means to say that particular manuscript can be confidently believed to have been scribed on that date, your probability is almost 0%. That is the level of ignorance these people have. No wonder Muslims in this park, we avoid talking to these egotistical individuals because they have no clue. When I asked him 3 questions only about radiocarbon dating principles, what do we mean by BP dating? Why do we take the year 1950 as a standard? What is the difference between 1 sigma and 2 sigma variations? And do we take the average, mean, the median? Which date do we take? Do you remember what he said? Oh, we can just take any date in the middle. That's what scholars do. No scholar will do that because he would not be a scholar. Everyone will criticize him. He hasn't got a clue what he's talking about. That's scholarship. So recently, this question was put to a scholar called Hyde by Professor Gabriel Said Reynolds. These people don't learn. So I encourage them to go to his Gabriel Said Reynolds YouTube channel, Exploring the Bible and the Quran, and he answers it there from Haytham Sidki. Clearly, I was going to play the clip, of course it's too noisy. So now we establish the reasons why Muslims boycott certain egotistical individuals. Yeah, they think they know. But the whole world now will know whether these individuals know about the subject matter or not. This debate, initially I wanted to be 5 minutes, only to establish what? That this guy knows about the subject matter. What did I demonstrate? I demonstrated without a shadow of doubt. He did not know any of these, of the subject matter. And this is one subject. If he talks about anything else, you can do the same. This guy thinks he's a hero of the Christians in Speaker's Corner. But the reasons why we don't talk to them is because you're wasting your time with someone who doesn't even know what he's talking about, bananas or potatoes. When you're talking about philosophy and he's talking about banana. Oh, I eat banana because it's so sweet. And when you talk about philosophy, for example. So no decent, reasonable, rational, sane individual will waste their time talking to people like that. That is why Muslims in Speaker's Corner, we try to focus our attention to people who are sincere, genuine, and they at least know what we're talking about. If I was going to talk to you, and I know you have no idea of the subject matter, I'm not going to just keep on talking on the subject matter because you wouldn't have a clue what I'm talking about. You would be hearing Greeks and Chinese and Latin. if you didn't know anything about this subject matter. So it is important that when you have a debate, your opponent knows about the subject. How can you debate an opponent who doesn't even know the difference between A and Z? That is why people, Muslims, for a reason, do not talk to these egotistical evangelists. That's the main reason. Did I not debate with their scholars, their prophets, their heroes in Speaker's Corner? Who have I avoided? Have I avoided anyone debating anyone in Speaker's Corner? Any individuals they think is a hero, I've debated them. But I'm not being egotistical. I have debated them, and you go and watch the debate. You make the judgment. And what was the true reality of the subject matter that was debated? Whether it was the Quran or the Bible or anything else. You be the judge. Based on what? Based on critical thinking. We want you to be critical thinkers when you analyze anything that you see in Speaker's Corner. Because we know there are certain crowd who would believe in anything. If you believe God is a tomato, he would say, yeah, hallelujah, God is a tomato. That is the level of people's blind faith and blind following. But Muslims are telling you to be critical thinkers. Because critical thinking is going to save you from the hellfire. The hellfire prepared for those arrogant and stubborn people like you have witnessed. Anyone who's stubborn and arrogant wants to deny the truth knowing it, there you go. You deal with it in the day of judgment. So what we have established then again, just to see, in Speaker's Corner, there are reasons why Muslim speakers avoid certain fruitcakes and big heads because they're not worth our time. We don't want to waste our time on people who are not going to be reasonable. You need to be reasonable to have a discussion with Muslims. If you're unreasonable, like this guy earlier on, rewind the tape and watch. He says, I'm crazy. He's talking about blah, 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 all this. And I asked him, do you know what it means? He said, I don't. It's coming out of my mind. I'm crazy. By their self-confession. And you want to talk to people like that? Seriously? You want to speak to people who are crazy by their own admission? So this is why it's important. Take note, people. You think Muslims somehow are so afraid to talk with these individuals? Arrange a university debate. Professors and scholars and students on that debate hall. We will be happy to debate any of you. But you are not able to debate us in university setting, in any educational establishment. We know that. Because you will be seen as a fool by your own community. Like today, that will be established. That you don't know anything about radiocarbon dating, and you are now saying, oh, Mansur doesn't know about which manuscript, which surah, what's the Uthmanic. Am I going to just spoon feed him? I have a website called IslamicAwareness.org with our brothers and friends, Dr. Saifullah. We have put up the material there for your consumption, which is used by scholars themselves about Quranic manuscripts, about radiocarbon dating of Quranic manuscripts, and so on. And now you're telling me we don't know our subject matter? Dream on. Dream on. So if you don't want to learn from the academics that we have put the documents there in our website. They will be absolutely abundantly clear to you that your dreams will be shattered. So you bring in all these things, your heroes. Those of you who are Christians and are watching this on Muslim channel, this is a message to you. You are fanboys of your speakers, right? Do these things. Your speaker today said, you can take any date within the range. Go and ask a scholar. Find a scholar on manuscripts, experts in radiocarbon dating, whether biblical or Quranic. Don't have to be Muslim scholar. Go find a Christian scholar or an atheist, liberal, secular scholar and ask them that question. Can we do that? Do you as scholars do that? And perhaps then you will learn your boy that you are now putting to represent you is a fool. He's not representing you because you can be represented by a fool. So go and ask about radiocarbon dating. Do you know why he didn't answer any of these questions? Because now, next time, he will say, I know because it's in a Google up. But next time I'm going to ask him a different set of questions to see whether he really understands if he ever comes along, him or any of his Christian speakers in Speaker's Corner. I will ask you questions on subject matter to understand whether you know about it or not, something that you can't Google it. You can't simply just go and Google it because you won't find it in Google. That will establish whether you know about the subject matter or not. And yet you want to debate Muslims? Dream on. So Christians, when it comes to Islam, you know in your heart the Quran is preserved. You know it. So does the Western scholarship. But do you know why you want to talk about this? It's a deflection. You want to deflect it from your corrupt biblical transmission history. Because you don't know the Bible that you read is indeed preserved or not. The manuscript tradition that you have is so varied, so different. If you look at the gospel ending of Mark, for example, where did Mark end his gospel? Verse 8, verse 20, verse 35, where? Depends on which manuscript that you consult. Codex Washingtoniensis is a 5th century manuscript, which is a long ending. Did Mark write that? You know that he didn't. What would you say? Christian forgery. So Christians were forging books and calling them inspired by God. So you are establishing that there were mass scale distortion and alteration, corruption and forgery of the Bible by Christians themselves. They wrote the Gospel of the Ebionites. It's not in your Bible, is it? They wrote the Gospel of Infancy. It's not in your Bible, is it? They wrote the Gospel of Judas, Gospel of many Gospel, Mary, Gospel of Infancy. They wrote many other Gospels which are not within your 4 Gospel New Testament canon. What are you telling us about these Gospels? They were authored by people who were Christians, but they forged it in the name of God. Mass scale forgery. Your Christian people were forging, tampering, claiming that this is the book of God. This is the gospel of Jesus Christ. Historically established. No wonder, because of now your defeat in accepting this point, you have nowhere to now go. How can I be certain about the teaching of Christ? Because I don't know which gospel is true. You are saying maybe the Quran has the same problem. The Quran hasn't got the same problem. The Quran that we believe in is the Quran that is believed by every Muslim. Whether they're Sunnis or Shias, Sufis or otherwise. We believe in that Quran. That is the level of preservation of our book. So if you're a Christian, you want to know about Islam, go and learn about it. Rather than being spoon-fed misinformation. Strawmanning our book and our faith by your Christian, foolish individual representing you in the Speaker's Corner. If you don't accept my word, go and find out about the carbon dating that I talked about. Why did he not answer any of the questions I asked? Simple. If he knew about it, you should have said so. Instead, he's asking me. I wasn't there, the one to be challenged about, do I know the subject matter? I never claimed that I know the subject matter of X, Y, and Z. I was disputing and challenging that this individual, the fool, didn't know anything about the subject matter. And I established that. Because if he answered it, he would have said, I do know. I do know. But did he answer? He didn't answer. What does it tell you? He knows about it? Go and watch some of his debates with other Muslims beforehand and look at the errors he's making about radiocarbon dating, like he did today. No shame. And being on camera telling the whole world, you can take any date in the middle, anywhere. Even alone, that point alone, your fun boy is destroyed. فَبُهِتَ الَّذِي كَفَرَ فَبُهِتَ الَّذِي كَفَرَ. This is how the kufr, the disbelief, is destroyed like that. If you are sincere, go watch someone else. If you're sincere, go read about it. then you'll understand and appreciate where we are coming from. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله ولكم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته to all our Muslim brothers and sisters, and thank you. And you're more than welcome, our friends who are not Muslims. You're more than welcome to watch us in Dawahwise. This is me and Hashim's channel, and all the other Muslim channels that is recording. Thank you.